Girls room.
Period.
I gotta get up and get my little iced coffees.
So do it. Do your thing, boo.
Okay.
You guys, welcome back to the girls room. You are now tuned in to episode 4. We are here to all of our...
Yes, queen.
Period.
We are here.
Yes, queen. If you guys are new to our podcast, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram at The Girls Room Pod. Instagram, we're on Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
All that,
we're everywhere. We say this every time, but we're here. We're here. TikTok. We gotta get those TikToks up.
Nah, for real. We will. We got it.
Today.
But follow TikTok regardless, because by the time y'all do that, we'll
have some content.
Hopefully. Right.
But go ahead.
Oh. I am Brandy. Shots of Brandy _ on Instagram. Make sure you guys are following me.
Period.
Oh, it's my turn. You guys, I'm at _ Kayla on Instagram. And if y'all saw me wearing this last weekend, just mind your business.
Okay, period.
If y'all mind your business, okay?
Sis said she could wear her fit more than once.
Okay, period. It's the one, the only. You know, it's Carly. Hi, guys. You can follow me at _ King Carly. You know the vibes.
Big borrows. I always got
the biggest.
Big B's.
And I'm getting my iced coffee because this shit is disgusting.
Go ahead.
Do your thing, sis. I want to start over. Not start over. What the hell? I want to do a refresher on our last episode because it was really good. We were talking about girl code.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because, like, it made me think about an incident that happened.
We were talking about you bringing this up, but I completely forgot what the story was.
Remember? Okay, so basically, like, more of the story, men are just goofy, but we knew that. But basically, like, I went out with Bayla. Remember, we went out and with one of my girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I met this guy or whatever. He was cool. He was, whatever. He had some red flags, which we talked about in episode 2. But, that's...
What were his red flags? He had no furniture?
Yeah. That was one of them. And he had a child.
That is a red flag.
That was another one. But...
Yeah, but you
that
said
wasn't
that...
That's a whole nother story for another time. Anywho...
A grown-ass kid.
He was all over me and all this stuff, right? Whatever. It was whatever. Next day,
it was me, you, and our other girlfriend.
Yes. And then
you said that?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, okay.
And we went out or whatever. Everything was cool. Like, next day, why my girlfriend gonna text me, like, why this man gonna DM her and be like, oh, you're the girl from last night, such and such.
Really, nigga?
Exactly. Like, and he was like, oh, I just wanted to let you know you're my type. Wow. Let's just keep this between us. Like, don't tell, your friend, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're goofy because my girlfriend's gonna fucking tell me.
Clown. Why do y'all not believe we have loyalty to each other?
Clown.
Actually, I shouldn't even be asking that question because
no, they know because, or they think that because they get away with that.
All the time.
They do get away with it sometimes.
So,
but it's like wrong.
Wrong bitch.
Okay. Me and
so
mine,
that
we
shit
don't
was
play
fucking
about
crazy.
ours.
Mind you, like we met this guy. Well, you met this guy earlier in the day. Last Saturday.
No, it wasn't last week.
It wasn't?
What are you talking about? This is like months ago.
Damn. I gotta stop fucking drinking. That's why I'm drinking coffee today and not alcohol like you. Jezebels. But we had met him like earlier in the day, and then we went out for drinks, went out for food, and then we were back at his place and everything. Like we all had stayed the whole day together. What?
No, I'm just thinking about the no furniture, and then it was like the freaking like baby mom stuff like at the place. That's and then crazy. He was trying to say that the baby mom didn't live with him.
That's crazy.
And then it's like, why is her Louis
bold.
Bag here? Why is her Fenty foundation here?
She's very comfortable.
Why? She is very comfortable. Like,
there's a whole bunch of red flags. A whole
the
bunch
edge
of red
booster.
flags in this motherfucker.
Oh wow, the good edge control.
And I called it out because by that time, like, he was a homie. Like, we were all chilling with him. Like, we knew him for years.
It was so funny. It was hilarious. But I forgot to mention that on the pod last week. But we just wanted to, like, that was just funny. Whew.
The days are escaping me because you were supposed to talk about that a long time ago.
I really was, but, you know.
So, Girl Code was executed.
Yeah, Girl Code definitely was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anywho, on to the next topic, because...
What are we here today? Today we are here. This is actually one of my favorite conversations. I love talking about this. But today we're here to talk about love languages. What are love languages? Yes. What is your love language? What's your partner's love language? What are some of the things that you're looking for? Mm-hmm. Are you an affectionate person? Are you a communicator? Like, you know, we're getting into it. We're going to share, like, some of our languages, our experiences.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Because
I feel like this is definitely... Because I feel like knowing your partner's love language and knowing your love language is really important because... If not, then you're not going to feel connected at all. Because, for example, like if your love language is quality time, but mine is words of affirmation, you could be hanging out with me all the time. And it's like, yes, I'm showing my love, but then you're not telling me, like, girl, I love you. Then it's like, I'm not going to feel your love.
Yeah.
And it's like we're both wasting each other's time because you're pouring so much love into someone in your language.
I seen a post a few months ago and it said, just because you love me doesn't mean I feel loved by you.
Yes.
And that's deep.
That's
deep. And for me,
you got to pay attention.
For me especially, I think that is especially true because for a long time I didn't really understand my love language, what love languages were. And so I felt like I would always, like, it would always be... Like, I would show love or want love a certain type of way, but I was always with somebody who didn't understand my love language, and I didn't understand theirs, perhaps, maybe. So I think it's important to be on the same page as far as, like, what each other needs. And I think it's possible to be with somebody who has a different love language as long as you're able to cater to their love language.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that. I am. Like, my phone is just being mad difficult right now. Like, we clearly not showing each other the love.
Did y'all take the love language test? There was some online quiz that I took a while back.
What's yours?
But it's like, I don't know if I took a quiz or if I read about it and I I didn't instantly know. I just recently found out what my love languages were. And they're definitely physical touch. And I feel like, I don't know. I was going to say, like, everybody has all 5 love languages because you got to, like, it changes over time. Like, once you explore, like, yourself in different relationships, you get to see, like, what you're really into. Like, you probably would have thought, oh, I don't have any love languages. Or you probably thought, oh, my love language is active service. And then you get in another relationship and you realize that your love language is quality time and gifts, because maybe in your last relationship you weren't getting all that kind of stuff, but then you were receiving and it's like, oh shit, I like that.
But do you think that that's your love language, or do you think that's just you wanting something that you didn't get?
Ooh.
Well, my love languages are physical touch.
Okay. But do you understand what your love languages mean though? Okay. Cool. No, I'm just, this is something to, because I think a lot of people.
Squeeze me.
Because I think a lot of people.
She's nasty.
Fresh.
She is nasty.
Very fresh. It's Sunday.
Wow.
I think it's important to not only, because I know a lot of people do take the love language quiz, but a lot of people don't understand what love language is. So I think it's important to know your love language, but to also understand your love language.
What do you mean, do I understand? Like what?
Physical touch. Like, see, everyone's physical touch is different. Like, I could be in a, like, my love language could be physical touch, and, like, just this means something to me. Or just, you know, brushing up against me mean, like, it's, you know, whereas then you have some people who mean physical touch by, you know, like, sexual. So understanding, like, what your love language means as far as, like, you and how that comes up in your, like, how.
Yeah, so, like, what is yours? Is it, like, holding hands?
Right.
Is it, like...
Are you a PDA kind of person? Because, see, I'm not a PDA kind of person.
But do you like physical touch?
Yes.
So it's more than just knowing the surface stuff. Like, oh, I know it's acts of service.
Because acts of service could be anything.
Touch. There's, like, you have to go deeper than that.
Yes.
Mine is definitely, like like, you need to let me climb all over you, hug on
crying.
you, kiss on you,
okay.
like.
Oh my God! For a minute, I thought I heard something else, but you said kiss on you.
What'd you think I said?
It's a word that rhymes with kiss.
Kiss? What rhymes with kiss?
Piss.
Oh,
Piss on you.
wow.
Golden showers.
Literally what I said.
Absolutely not. People are really into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, everybody has
No
their own
way.
like
Respect
little.
your body, man.
But physical touch is your number one love language.
Absolutely. I learned
Okay.
that like 2 years
Charles?
ago.
My love language is quality time. See, when I like am really like
I love
when
you.
I like someone, when I love somebody, I just want to spend all the time with them. Like I can spend days with them and not get tired of them.
Right.
Like I'll just adjust to how I spend time with you. Like some days I like might be more clingy. Other days I just want to be in your presence. Like we don't even really gotta talk. Like I just want to be around you.
Do you ever get afraid like that'll wear off after a certain amount of time?
For
like
me-
spending so much time with them every day?
For me, no. For the other person, yeah. Like for
Really?
me,
Depending on their love language, though.
yeah. See, for me, if I really like somebody, like I love them, I won't get tired of them. But I always fear like they'll get tired of me. Truthfully.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
I can relate to that because so I have two. When I did my test, and like I know this,
Yeah.
but I like my love languages is definitely quality time and acts of service. Like I love when people just like do the little things, like whether it's like opening up the door for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, 'cause you do
Or
things for
just,
people
like-
all the time, so I
Yeah.
can see how acts of service.
or
Yep.
just helping me in any little way. Like
You know,
even if like let's say I need to like check what time the store opens or something,
Yeah.
and like you do it for me, or you like
You
know
wanna
it's
know
just
what's
like you went
funny?
out of your way and did that.
I was just having this conversation about, and it kind of ties the second episode with this episode about like qualities I look for. Is someone who just makes my life easier.
yes,
Like, you
just
know, for
going out-
me, I think I
yeah.
always make sure like I'm just naturally independent. Like I'm a naturally independent person. I don't really like asking people for help. So I kind of make sure I'm always good. But I would appreciate someone who noticed that in me and still went out of their way to just make things easier for
Exactly.
me. Like, oh, if I'm like, if I, you know, I like have to wake up super early. Like I'm a heavy sleeper, so like setting your alarm so that you
Right.
wake
Like, I
up
love
and
little
wake me
things
up,
like that.
that type
Like,
of stuff.
just
like,
go out and like
That's
just
like another level of care. Like you're gonna wake up at 6
Yeah.
a.m. because just so I can get up.
Get up
and,
at
and it's like
7.
you're doing
Yeah.
And then
it
you're
could be
up,
something
like,
so little,
and
but it
even-
means so much to me, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why it's my
Yeah.
love language.
I feel like that's a
Even-
big thing because it's like,
Yeah.
And
bitch,
even
you
like
better
that's
get the
how I
fuck
feel
up.
about
Yeah.
quality time. Like I'm not saying we have to be doing anything crazy. Like I know you guys have seen posts that say like nap dates are my favorite.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
love
love a
those.
nap date. We literally don't have to be doing anything, but
Just
just being in
sleep.
your presence and like
just spooning.
just sharing that time because
Yeah.
time is obviously fucking money.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're taking because like let's be honest,
could be
like,
doing something
we never
else.
have free time.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if you're making time, like you fit things into your
so
schedule.
it's like, oh, you
So
want to
it's-
spend your little time that you have to yourself with me.
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
that's
Like,
how I feel.
love things like that, and I just love that. Like, it
See
makes
me,
you know.
like because I'm such like a romantic. Just the idea that someone like just is like so giddy about me
Yeah.
is like just the cutest thing in the
Yeah.
world. Like because for me, like when I'm super excited about somebody, like it's just I don't care. Like I don't care what nobody has to say about them. I don't care what we do. Like we could go out one day and then just spend 4 days just in the house. Just
Yeah.
You know how you said,
and
like,
I
you
would
literally
just love
won't get
that.
tired of being with someone that you love, like, or like, or whatever. That's
No.
me. Like, I will literally
Yeah.
I could spend every day all day.
It's sick.
It's
With
sick.
somebody.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I really like you, if I
Yeah.
really, really like, yes, and I will not get tired of you. Like, I will not get tired of seeing your face.
That's exactly how I am, but I'm afraid that that'll wear off for me, and I don't ever want that to happen. So it's
Yeah.
like, and then it's a mix of that, and then the other person getting tired of me
Yeah.
or getting used to me being around all the time.
Yeah.
So then with me and thinking about that and like overthinking,
I mean, it's
because
probably
I'm
not
thinking,
the best like thing
Well,
to
can I
do,
s-
but it's
Also, too, for me, I always think about it. I feel like if you are dating somebody and you guys spend days together, but you don't live with each other, like naturally, the way I think about relationships is like with the idea that they'll progress into something. Like for me, if I'm dating somebody and we're in a relationship at this age, like we're probably serious. And so like the conversation at some point about like living with someone, getting married is gonna come up. I just feel like if you get tired of somebody after like 4 days together, how the fuck you gonna live with somebody?
Yeah, after 4 days, really?
Yeah,
because think about it.
How would you live with somebody then? How are you
them?
gonna live with them? Because in my idea, like if I'm having a family with someone, like me, we have kids, like we're gonna see each other every day. So it's like if I get tired of you to the point
to you and go to
the point where I don't want to be in a relationship with you because I'm just so tired of you after 4 days, like you're doomed.
Yeah. What about a week?
A week? That's still nothing. Imagine
You're
people
talking
who are
about
like together for like 30 plus years.
I actually cannot imagine living with a guy or living with my man.
Yeah,
I just can't imagine it. Like, that's so weird.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I want to wake up and see her face. I want to wake up and like,
you again.
Well, it's that's like, me. If I gotta take a shit, you gotta leave the house kind of thing. I love it here. What about if you have to use the bathroom? Like, if I have to take a shit, you have to leave the house.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, you got.
I'm leaving the door open and I'm talking to you from the bathroom.
No, I'm taking a doo-doo.
Oh my gosh, can you?
But do you ever get that comfortable around a guy to like where you can just use the bathroom in front of them or just fart in front of them or stuff like that? Do you ever get that
like use the bathroom like pee, but like taking a shit, like get out.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't take a shit in front of a guy. Like
that's so crazy.
Because even in public bathrooms, like I don't like people to hear me, like
like droplets.
It's so
people to hear that, and I don't want to hear other people and their droplets.
You wait till everybody leave the bathroom.
Yeah,
I try to avoid using public bathrooms at all costs. Like I'll drop some flush real quickly so that nobody can, like, I don't know, like.
That's so funny because we went out like last week or whatever and this girl was obviously taking a shit in the bathroom, like, and it's just
and it smelled really bad. Were we together?
Wait, were we?
I just remember we went into the bathroom and it smelled horrible in there. And sis was just chilling the whole time.
Just chilling. So I feel you.
So that's my only thing. Like, but that's just my thing altogether, not just with guys, but in public. Like, I don't want you to hear me.
Yeah.
Anywho.
You know what's so funny? I just realized recently, with the person I'm kind of like seeing or whatever.
Yeah.
That, whatever that is. But I just realized that like, I used to think that physical touch wasn't a big thing for me.
Yeah.
But then it's like when you really like someone, you just want to like live in their skin. No,
yeah,
live in their skin.
Live in their skin.
I want to live in his skin.
You can't lay down without me.
Yeah, like I need some part of our body touching, like my arm wrapped around you, like something touching, like play footsies with me.
It's actually sickening because I'm very, very, very touchy.
I used to not be. Well, I used to think I wasn't a touchy person, but I guess it really takes someone to like bring that out of you because. Like, I wasn't even big on, like, hugs and stuff like that back in the day.
Either.
Yeah, like, I used to be like, don't touch me.
Yeah, like I used to do, like, a side hug.
Yeah, it's like a little... But now it's like, no, like, I want to hug you, and when you give me a hug, it's like, I'm not letting go. Yeah. I'm not letting go.
I'm, like, laying on you. Like, you can't breathe. Like, we have to be...
Like, we're cuddling all night. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we're literally cuddling all night.
So let me ask you a question. How do you like if a guy says he loves you or they say to you I love you, like what does that mean to you? Like how does that resonate with you?
Well, I feel like that doesn't resonate at all to me because one thing is like words of affirmation is like not like it's not in my love language. It means nothing. Like I don't fall for like words. They're not that meaningful to me. And it goes back to my love language being acts of service. Like I'd rather you show me. Like I need to see, and that's just like my personal love language. It just goes back to like you could say I love you, but if I'm not seeing it that way or in our communication it's getting lost, you know, in the delivery, then it's not doing anything for me. But that's me personally.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends on like the depth of our conversation. Like I agree with you. Like if you're just saying, "Oh, I love you," and it depends on like the quality of our relationship, what kind of relationship we have in reality. Like if we're arguing all the time and it's like it's hot and cold with us, like we're arguing and then we're back together, we're arguing, we're back together, and you say you love me, like that's no. But if our relationship
very
is
toxic.
Yeah, if it's like toxic, it's like I see past that shit. You know,
Right.
like people romanticize that kind of stuff.
But
and
some
it's
people,
not real.
their love language is words of affirmation. So it's like just hearing that, like,
Yeah,
It's like,
because
oh my God.
I'm like that.
I love you.
Like,
I
for
miss
me,
you.
I love you. I think words of affirmation was never really my forte until recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it matters who you're with.
Yeah.
Because
It's like, what are
I
we
kid you
doing? What
not.
do we talk about? Like, there are some, depending on how our relationship is, and that's how I'll know if you really love me.
yeah, like I kid you not, before it didn't matter to me like what a guy said to me, like if he said like, oh, I was pretty, or I love you, or you know, like you mean so much to me, like it never mattered.
And
I think I never, because I never believed it. But it wasn't until like recently where I was like, oh, like if they mean it, if there's meaning behind what they're saying, the words will feel different. And I believe that to be true. Like I think that that's true. Like I'm a textbook definition of a hopeless romantic. And for those who don't know, a hopeless romantic is someone who still believes in love despite love not being so kind to them. And I think like I'm the textbook definition because I've had like horrible, when I tell you like horrible, we could have a whole special on Carly's like relationships. But,
Stay tuned.
yeah, like, but
Girl, I have them pay for that. Put them on
no matter
Patreon.
what, I still, I still show up. Like if I'm dating someone new, I still show up like a fresh person. Like,
Yeah,
As
you don't
and
let,
I think that is so
I think it's so,
healthy
yeah.
and mature of you because
But that's why I feel like the breaks that I take in between relationships are really important. And I always tell people, like, I don't necessarily believe that there's a timeline for when you should move on.
Right. It's what you do in those
Exactly.
breaks. You know, you got to do a
I
lot
think
of work.
if you find yourself in a situation where you're like so, like, I guess confused. Like some people don't know how to be alone. So of course they jump relationship to relationship just because they don't want to be. They just need to be with somebody.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like being in a relationship has never been a priority. I just always found myself in them, and the time that I would take after would always just be me like asking myself, like, "Girl, what's going on?"
Yeah.
right.
So I think it matters how someone shows up for you, and that's on so many levels, like emotionally, physically, spiritually, if you're into that, you know, if religion's your thing, like if they are there for you, and like it can't just be surface level, one faceted. Like it has to be multifaceted. Like someone has to really show up for you, and like at the end of the day, you really believe it. Like when they say like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," or "You mean so much to me," or "I love you." Like it matters.
And that's so funny because I was thinking about this the other day. Like that can go for like anything, you know. It could go for like the love language of receiving gifts.
Exactly.
It could go for even quality time. Like someone could spend a lot of time, but it still not feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
or someone could buy you a lot of stuff, you know. And I think if your love language is gift giving, or I mean receiving gifts, that's gonna be a lot for you. But at the same time, I think anybody can say anything to you.
Yeah.
And depending on who they're talking to, a lot of people fall for different things.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to really dig deep and ask yourself like what it is you're looking for, not what someone's trying to give you.
Yeah.
Because a person could come around and give you nice things and show you different experiences, but they could just be empty.
Yeah.
Like they buy you a lot of stuff, they spend a lot of time with you, they take you to like fancy places, but they don't, like, the romance is not there.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all not talking about
you know, so for some people that might be enough because they're materialistic or they're into that type of stuff, and I feel like if that's who you are, like that means being true to that, then that's fine.
Yeah. Right.
But for some people, that's not enough. So you have to ask yourself, what are you offering and what are you receiving? Like what is being offered to you, and are you taking it because that's just what's being offered, or is what you're being offered really what you want?
When y'all go into like do you show up in your relationships by like telling your partner, do you explicitly say like these are my love languages?
Absolutely.
And or do you just like you just show it and just know hope that
I'm very clear.
I always have a conversation.
Always.
Just because I'm really big on communication.
Absolutely.
I feel like we really need to. I feel like with anything, you need to have a clear conversation, or things get misinterpreted.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Anytime there's a room for
any misunderstanding,
or any confusion, or any like something's not been clearly communicated, there's always room for interpretation, and there's always room for implications, or just room for anybody to just make up anything.
Yeah.
So I know for some people it's, you know, a lot of people are like into going with the flow, and I think the flow is cool. Like, you don't have to fuck up the flow, but I think if you know deep down inside, like, for example, if you know deep down inside that you're looking for a relationship, you want to be in a relationship.
You need to communicate that.
Like, you don't want to talk, you don't want to fill it out. Like, you want to like a person and be in a relationship, period. You need to let the person that you're interested in know that's what you're looking for, because if they're not giving it to you, I don't want to hear well, they led me on because they told you that that's not what they were looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes people hurt their own feelings because they self-sabotage. Because they're too busy assuming something, or like if a guy likes you, and I say this all the time, like, guys will tell you how they feel about you. In words and in actions. Like, sometimes, you know, they have no problem letting you know, like, you know, I fuck with you, I like you, I love you. Like, men will communicate to you, and I feel like if they don't, you can give it a conversation, like, hey, I'm just, you know, want to clear some things up. Yeah. If that's your approach and you're just one of those people, or if you just feel like I've made it clear what I want and they just haven't shown up for me the way I need them to, you need to exit out. Or you're running the risk of like someone just dragging you along, and you're just going with the flow because you don't want to fuck up the flow, but ultimately you're hurting yourself because like you don't want to just be honest and say, I need more. That's
I wish
stupid.
I could be a guy in that way, because every time I hear that, I'm like, dang, I wish I could be like that.
But that's
just do whatever the hell I want, say what I want.
About men, people also be like thinking that they could like change someone.
That's what I was just about to say.
And it's like, you can't. Like, if I say I don't want a relationship, or I do want a relationship,
you believe
like,
him.
Nothing you
but men are very clear that way.
I wish is going to change like my mind. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm the type of person, I'm very grounded, and I stay on what I say. So it's like, you cannot, and it's also unfair. Like, you can't try to change someone else just to be what you want them to be, you know?
When you can just go find somebody that's going to fit what you want.
And you guys have the same goals, you know?
Like, that's funny to me because, you know, interestingly enough, like in the past, like my frame is I'm a small girl. Like, I'm very skinny, like, you know, long legs or whatever. You know, that's just always been my like fatigue. I remember like I was dating a guy who was like, he would always tell me like, you know, I really fuck with you, but you're not like typically my type.
He said that?
Yeah. And I was like, you know,
boy, fuck you.
Yeah, like,
we had a boy fuck you button.
So I was like, you know, so I was like, you know, if I'm not your type, like, I am who I am, like, you know, whatever, cool. Cause like, I feel like, you know, whatever, like, I'm cool. I never, you know, I'm cool with the skin I'm in. Like, I feel like I look cool. I'm cool with how I look.
Period.
Like, he would just say that in random
it's like,
conversation.
no offense, like, you're not what I imagined either. Like, you're not my type either. Like, so I just feel like, I just feel like, in all honesty, like, in the past, I can clearly say, like, men that I've dealt with typically will let you know, like, either, like I said, in their action or in their words, how they feel about you, and it's up to you to read the signs and take it in what they're like, what they're showing. Yeah, for what it is. I think sometimes as women, we just try because we think like shit will change, and I'm just telling you, like, just take shit at face value. Like, if someone is not fucking with you the way you need them to fuck with you,
kick him to the curb.
just move the fuck on. Like, that's
but I feel like it's easy. Like, we can't, like, we got to admit, like, we see things through this fairy tale lens, because once I meet a guy, I'm already thinking about, and I feel like I'm like into you or whatever, I'm already thinking about life 10 years later, 20 years later, what our life is going to look like. And so you look at it through these like fairy tale goggles, and then things are going really, really well, and you just start to lead that relationship through just your idea of that guy instead of the reality of him. And sometimes it's hard to see.
That's why I don't like the term date to marry. Because it's like, I'm not necessarily dating to marry. Like, I'm dating to see where this goes.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think if you say date to marry, you have it in the back of your mind that marriage is the ultimate goal. So you tend to ask yourself, like, what can I deal with long term, and what can I deal with, when in reality you don't have to deal with any of it. Like, you don't have to settle for certain qualities that you don't like in someone, because you're in the mindset that, okay, like, I'm gonna marry this person one day. Like, you don't have to be in a relationship with everybody that you date. You don't have to marry the person that you've been in a relationship with for 5 years. Like, at any given point, you can change, and your values and expectations and certain things that you want in a relationship can change. And if the person that you're with no longer fits that standard, you are 100% within your right, as long as you communicate it properly, to end that relationship. I've done it multiple times.
And I want to rewind us back to, you know, how men, they communicate what they want and what they're looking for. That's very true. And I feel like the only men that don't do that, they're clowns. And they're goofy. And they feel like they have to lie to women to get what they want. So stay away from those type of men.
Yeah. And it's like also
stay away.
Funny enough that you like we're on this conversation. I think I was like paying attention, like I'm sure you guys seen it like recently on like Instagram and Twitter, the thread of like women who were talking about like, when did you realize he hated you?
Yes.
And what's funny is I seen a post.
That was very intense.
I seen a post that was like, oh, like you would really have to like get this like information out of me. Like you would have to force this information out of me, because truthfully, I've had a lot of those moments and I refuse to share them, only because one, they're in the past, and two, it's just, I would sound so stupid even just bringing it up. And I think like I just want to, and I know the growth. So I'm gonna just sweep it under the rug. But a lot of them are really painful to listen to, only because a lot of people, to clear this up, a lot of people think that I hate men. And I don't hate men. I just hate men that play games. And poor men. Yeah, I hate poor men. I hate men that play games. Poor men. I hate poor men. If you're poor, I hate you. You make my stomach churn. Like, I hate you. I don't like men that play games. I don't like men that hurt women knowingly. Like, you know that you're really gonna like fuck with her mental for a long time. Just lying, being nasty, vicious, malicious. So a lot of these threads is a 50-50 between accountability on women's part, but that's a different conversation for a different day. And then the other half is just men knowingly just being vile and disgusting and sloppy and messy and just, you know, for all these things. So if you want to share or not, any of your experience, but if not, did you see anyone that really striked you and was like, that's just atrocious?
Let me tell you something. I'm not going to share nothing like crazy. But one thing that we have been talking about for the past couple of days, and I know you haven't experienced this yet. Yet. Don't put that on me. I hope you really don't. Right. But I feel like everyone has experienced this. And like, you have to hate me to do this.
I know what you're going at.
Literally, like, a man breaking up with you at work.
Don't even.
You hate me if you do that. You cannot. You know how it's traumatizing.
Because I would get into
this was a thing.
Yeah. No, hold on. Go ahead.
Let me tell you. Oh my God. Where do I start? It's like the fact that you know I'm at work and I can't even. And this hasn't happened like recently or anything, but this is just like past experiences.
All in the past.
No, I'll wrap it up with a story. Like, I got a good one.
Let me tell you. You know, when we at work, like, you can't be on your phone, so it's like, you know, texting the back and forth.
This is high school, post-high school retail jobs. Like, we're not talking about corporate jobs where you have an office, a cubicle, like where we at now.
Then at that point, you can leave.
I'm talking about 17, 18, 19, working at
first
fucking
job. Like, you can't lose this. You know, this is your.
It's holiday season.
This is giving you all your allowance. Like, okay, so
you're going out with your friends. You buying the hottest outfits from Fashion Nova. This is 2017.
No, not Fashion Nova. Not at that time.
No, this was 2017, like 2016. Yes, it was.
Forever 21.
Oh, y'all was on Forever 21.
You were shopping at Fashion Nova
in high school?
Yeah.
When did I discover Fashion Nova?
Probably when I was in
during college.
No, but I was freshman year of college was 2016 for me.
Oh, okay, so I was in high school.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So look,
really
painting this picture. I'm glad you painted that picture because that was necessary.
Okay, yeah.
At work, you know, you cannot be on the phone going back and forth, texting these paragraphs. You know, this is my little part-time job. I'm still in school, all this stuff. Oh my God, it's triggering. It's triggering. Like, that was just so bad. Like, I remember literally running to the bathroom. At the time, like, I was working at Aldo.
Please.
Is it like unexpected? Like, you just get a text? No, like, y'all were okay yesterday and then you get a text?
I don't remember because it was like It was so long ago.
Yeah.
But I just remember like going through a breakup at work, and I'm running into the bathroom, literally trying to like text these paragraphs because I can't be on the retail floor and on the floor like texting back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like in the bathroom, like texting back, and it's like just going back and forth. And it's like, mind you, like you want to cry, but you're at work, and it's like you got customers and stuff. And it's like people could tell your energy's a little bit off. And it's like, oh, what's wrong? And you know you about to be on the verge of dropping a tear, but you're trying to hold it together. And then he over here like, why are you not responding?
Y'all be crying when y'all men break up with you?
This was like, you not.
At that, I thought we were getting married. What?
I was 17, 18.
I don't damn. I be crying.
Nah, like real shit. I worked at Victoria's Secret fresh out of high school. Like when I first went to college. So when I first went to college, actually it was my sophomore year. I had just transferred. So I was going to school back home. I was living at home. I moved off campus. So I was working at Victoria's Secret. And I was dealing with like my first boyfriend. Like this is my first like real boyfriend. So we was arguing before I went to work. Like I had to be at work at 5. We started arguing at like 1 o'clock. Like we started arguing when I was at school. He's blowing my phone up like, oh, like we getting into it. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like I'm at school. He didn't care.
Yeah, they don't care at all. Like, and so you gotta keep
calling me.
So
he's calling me. He's calling me.
Who remembers
I don't remember.
You
so
want to know.
You wanted the details like this was yesterday, girl. We don't know. That's like 7 years ago.
So
I want to know.
I go home. I get out of class at 2, so I go home to take a nap before work. I get up, I'm getting dressed for work. Got like 10 missed calls. I'm a heavy sleeper. I got like 10 missed calls, like 25 messages. Like he's pissed.
You ain't responding.
So I call him on the way to work. He like, oh, he like, where you at? Like you being mad sneaky. Like that's it. I'm done with you. I'm like, chill. Like I'm about to go to work. We could talk about it when I get off. He like, nah, you gonna be blocked by the time you get off. I'm like, you gonna block me? That's crazy.
Yo, let me tell you something. They don't care if you're at work or anything. It's like if you're not responding right now,
when I worked
then
at
it's over. And then you be wanting a relationship so bad. It'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah. See, when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I was a cashier. Like I always worked in the front. I worked at the cash wrap. So I'm like ringing out customers. This nigga's like texting me, calling me. Mind you, I'm not even supposed to have my phone on the floor. Like it's supposed to be in my locker, but I knew he was like really trying to give me the business.
Yeah, you couldn't leave that phone in that locker. Girl, it would have been over.
Yeah, so I'm texting him like whenever we clear out the line, and I'm like, please, like I'm gonna call. I get off at 8. Like no, I get off at 9. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you. Just wait. He like, no. Fuck you, like
call me now.
Like call me now. So I'm like, oh hold on, my stomach hurt. Like I think I'm getting cramps. I'm in the bathroom, mind you. You ever been in a retail bathroom? It's hella shit in a retail bathroom. Like it's hella like supplies and shit. So I'm in there like really texting him. I'm trying to call him. I'm like, I'm at work. Mind you, you
can't even talk loud on the phone.
Like he was not trying to hear it. That shit is really crushing. It's devastating, and it's so manipulative because you know I really can't give you the energy because I'm at work, and you really trying to fuck up my money. That's sick. That's sick.
That was crazy.
Like my
$10 an hour.
My little job. Like you see me.
Yo, when I first started working, minimum wage was like $8 an hour. Like $8 an hour.
I've never.
What was I doing with that? I was really out here.
But we was outside. No bills at that time.
I was really outside. Like when I was in college, off my little retail job, I was good. Like so, I wasn't about to have no man fuck up my money. Like I was going out with my friends. I was going to the bar. Like I was really grown. Like me and my friends was going on trips. Like we could do whatever with my little retail job. Yes. So I wasn't about to get fired for that.
We used to live our best lives, broke as hell, but.
You couldn't tell me You couldn't tell me I was broke. You're broke. I'm not broke. You couldn't tell me I was broke.
My little brother, he just got his first job. His first job at Chick-fil-A, and his checks be popping. Shit, I was about to say shit. I'm about to work at Chick-fil-A. For him, the money is really, really good. I was surprised.
Yeah, when you think about how old we were, like that money was hitting at the time. We ain't had no responsibilities. All we was paying
that
for
money
was
is good for him because he don't got to pay for shit. You know, but I've never been a guy has never broken up with me at work, but I found out that the guy that I was talking to when I was in grad school, that he had basically like cut me off and like ghosted me. Found shit on his Instagram because he had unfollowed me, blocked me on Instagram, and then I forgot. I think I had made my podcast page by that time, so I was on his page for my podcast page, and he had a whole other girlfriend.
Oh wow!
And this was during the summertime, and
That's deep. That's crazy.
That shit was fucking crazy. He had like a whole girlfriend, initials in his bio.
That's scary. Like, you don't think that's like hold on for a second.
It is scary.
Like, you don't think that's scary? Like, no, like, let's pause. You don't think that's scary that men really no, because I'm sorry. Like, it's sick to me, and it really scares me, like frightens me to my core, like a fucking Chucky film. That guys really will have two separate situations that they secretly
living
keep.
two lives.
And you'd have no idea.
And like, all full disclosure, you really have no fucking clue that this
crazy?
man has a whole situation because he spends so much time with you.
You know what's crazy? Me and Kayla was talking about this. Like, men,
That's
they be
sick.
having like identity crises.
They do.
Like, and they literally are not even sure like who they are.
That's one of
and
my
they be
biggest
living
fears. Like,
multiple lives.
Truthfully,
it's like one day shit just
like fuck
change
all
up
the
just
other
like that.
stuff. One of my biggest fears is like a guy really creating a life with me, and I'm really just like thinking like we're really building something together.
And he's fucking mad
and I
somewhere.
somewhere
Like,
imagine though.
Yeah,
imagine.
Yeah. But also like he has a whole like girlfriend with a baby on the way.
Imagine
like,
a whole other family.
Like a whole apartment, a house like that I know nothing about because you're with me. Like how do you find the time? That's sick. We have to tackle that one day because I'm scared.
It was very crazy. And it's like I was in Chicago interning. I was interning in Chicago that summer, and so I'm just in the cubicle like finding all this stuff. And then I remember I was telling one of my coworkers about it, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." And I'm just sitting there at my internship like, "Damn, what the fuck?" So I found out that a guy that I was with was essentially with somebody else.
No. See, me years ago, and let's talk. Speaking of the conversation of growth, me a long time ago didn't know how to deal with certain things. Like if I found out like the guy I was with cheated on me, like I just went full rage.
Okay.
Like I was so pissed off. I was so hurt. It was like a slew of different emotions.
Yo, I remember feeling like
it was like gut wrenching.
Yes. Oh my gosh! So you literally feel your heart breaking.
But
like,
now that I'm older, but now that I'm older and more aware of like who I am and the things that I've done, I feel like if a person hurts you, you don't have to give them that much control by like going all like doing extra shit. I just feel like once you realize, like, you know deep down in your side when you know like someone's not for you, the minute you feel that, like, you need to just remove yourself from the situation. Like, truthfully, some shit is an older conversation. Like, that's another thing about ghosting. Like, I 100% support ghosting because you have conversations with people and you let people know how you feel. And I just feel like if you know like someone's not for you and it's not working out, like you just need to move on. Like
I think you can still communicate that though. I don't feel like
I need to have that conversation.
But
why? Because they may try to like.
No, it has because it's like because I've already made my decision. What do you need to know for?
If you build a certain relationship with someone, the least you can do is.
But clearly, you don't feel that way.
Something with them. Well, it depends on the circumstance.
That's what I'm saying. Every
with
situation
that
is
type
different.
of situation, like
if you're getting nowhere with like trying to communicate with them, then
I feel like in the sense of like someone. You're talking to someone and maybe it wasn't that serious or whatever, and then like they're in a whole nother relationship, okay, then maybe no. But if y'all have like a certain, like if let's say you and somebody have been talking for mad long, like y'all mad close, and then they just ghost you out of nowhere.
Someone ghosting you is a conversation. That's them letting you know like you mean nothing to me.
I don't support that, but I get what you're saying. I mean, that definitely is a statement, but I don't.
That's the right way to go about it.
I don't think it's the right way
because at the
all.
end of the day, like in certain situations, it's really not about the other person. Like for me, in situations where I really feel like I'm getting nowhere, like I've tried to communicate with you in the past, and I've
you've talked about it before,
different, though.
But
like
just like cutting someone off cold turkey, like
and they have
but
no
either way,
clue,
if I cut you off cold turkey by stop responding to you, like that's ghosting you. Ghosting is when you can reach somebody one day and then the next day like they're unreachable, like they as if they vanished off the face of the earth. That's literally ghosting. Yeah. So my thing is if someone just abruptly stops talking to you, whether they gave you the conversation weeks ago or months ago, if someone doesn't owe you the courtesy of saying like, I don't see this going anywhere other than, I thought it was going somewhere and it's not going anywhere. let's talk about it. That's one thing. But if someone just stops talking to you, that's them letting you know, like, I don't care enough about you to have that conversation.
That's very true. I feel like that's very true.
And sometimes that's someone sending you a clip. That's strategic. Like, that's on purpose.
I think that's very true. But I still don't agree it's the right thing or, like, support it. I still think that people should be like yeah, like, this is
but everyone's different.
Like, even with the last guy that I was talking to, like, it wasn't, I talked about this on one of the last episodes too. Like, we were going out on dates and stuff, but he was just texting me all the time, and it was like, no, like, this isn't working. And I didn't have to text him and tell him, like, oh, like, this isn't working, like, I don't want to keep, like, doing this. But it wasn't, it didn't hurt to just let him know. Like, I wasn't about to just ghost him. I still care about him as a person. Like, I don't have any hate in my heart towards him. So it's like, me letting him know, okay, like, hey, this isn't working out. It was just like,
but I also think sometimes people play games too.
And it doesn't even have to be a full conversation, I feel like, either. It could just be a, hey, this isn't working out. Like, I don't want to.
Like, sometimes people can be so, like, just so draining and so vile and just so, like, disgusting that having that conversation is like if someone's like verbally abusive to you, like, why do you need to let them know, like, oh, I never want to speak to you again?
Yeah, I feel like
some people know exactly why they got ghosted, and that's funny because there's actually a TV show like MTV Ghosted where people like find out they've been ghosted, and then when you get to the end of the episode, they explain, and you really sit there and be like, oh, you deserve that.
See,
sometimes people deserve it.
DM me.
Ghosted?
What? You've been ghosted?
The show they DM'd me on Instagram.
You
I don't know.
ghosted someone or they ghosted
No,
you?
someone had, remember the story I told y'all, the guy ghosted me and I found out at work? That show DM'd me.
About it?
About, oh, do you want to come on the show?
Wait, did you tweet about it or something?
I have no idea.
Or maybe he told them he ghosted
It was like, yeah, hit this bitch up. Because I was about to say, shit,
she got a story to tell.
How much y'all paying me?
That's funny.
But they did. But it happened around that time. So I probably did say something like about it or whatever. And they DM'd me.
So you ain't
I was
do
about
it?
to be on TV, y'all. I was contemplating it like, yeah, I'm going to get this nigga.
You should have did it. I would have dragged it out. I would have been so dramatic. I would have been so extra. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Like,
And if we would have started this, we would have just boom, because
but it's like,
that shit would have been something.
I don't feel like sometimes, I feel like some people know exactly what they be doing. And they're just
I understand
so,
what
like,
you mean.
I get in those situations,
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm saying
what
in
I mean.
general,
Where they have
like,
a
to
reason.
say
I
that.
feel like if you kicking it with
To say
somebody,
I like support it and be like, oh yeah, no,
Just
like
ghost them, 'cause
I'm about
one
to
day
just
I
start
feel
ghosting.
like-
I don't feel
Every
no type of way,
I feel
like-
like to be like in every situation, like when I'm just done with a nigga, I'm just gonna ghost all.
But some
like, I
people
be
don't know
joking
how to
around,
have
but I'm not doing
uncomfortable
that.
conversations too.
I'm not Bernie said I'm not leaving all my niggas.
Yeah.
I'm never leaving them. But
I support it. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I feel like if you don't want to tell people, that's on you. Like, I really don't care either way. Like, truthfully, if that's how you handle situations, that has nothing to do with me. I don't care. Like, whatever. I feel like I understand. Sometimes it's draining to have conversations with people because you know it's going nowhere. Like, if you and I know we're on the outs,
yeah,
like, I don't feel like I gotta really
conversation.
sit down with you and be like, listen, this thing is not going
Or maybe you
nowhere.
could just
Like,
say-
I just leave you alone.
you could text them and be like, okay, I'm done, then block them, and then that's it.
Either
Because
way,
y'all already know.
however you want to
You know what
handle
I
it
think?
is on you.
I think you do what works for you. I think that's what you do.
Right.
Like, I feel like whatever. That's what I said. Like, if that's what you support, if that's how
I'll
you
support it, though.
If that's how you handle it, then that's on you. Like, if that's how you handle situations, that's your business. Like, I can't tell nobody like what they should and shouldn't do. I said for me in the past, sometimes that's been my go-to. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Like,
Like, if
you
you've
I don't
been,
care.
if you're in
I
a shitty
depend.
relationship, then
I
it's
feel
just
like
dip out.
I can't. Ultimately, I feel like if you don't know how to have conversations with people and you run away from situations, like, that's a bad habit to have as an adult. But ultimately, you got to sort that out. Like, I just feel like somebody, but also I don't like people crying about being ghosted. Like, if someone stopped talking to you abruptly, they don't care about you. So it's not even worth the energy.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Like,
be
just
sitting
move
over there
on.
crying
to
about
kill
it.
that nigga.
No, I feel like that's not even worth it. That's
I'm
But
crying.
growth.
Yeah, growth.
girl.
And maturity and just
Maturity.
learning how to communicate and stuff. Like, you know.
Like, in the past, it was hard for me to have uncomfortable conversations. So now that I'm older, I can have conversations and just have peace of mind knowing that I told somebody how I felt. I don't ever have to speak to you again. Like, if I tell you straight up, like, yo, I'm not feeling it no more, like, things have changed between the two of us, and I move on, however you deal with that, I'm cool with it because I told you that I didn't want to do this anymore.
Like there was let me just tell the story because I don't know if this is ghosting or not, but I met this guy and we were supposed to go like on a date or whatever, and he didn't tell me he didn't have a car until the hour before our date.
I think
this is like my third time
yeah, this is like, yeah, you said this.
I said this already?
Yeah, on your show.
Oh, well, and then I blocked him. Like, that's all he had to say. He's like, he didn't have a car. I hung up on him and blocked him. So, and then now I feel bad for that.
Okay,
that was
like,
it.
You
Never
did
heard from him
ghost
again.
him, but the thing is, I don't like think that was bad. Like y'all didn't even go on the first date. Like who cares?
You
like,
don't owe him anything.
But I was saying in the sense of like you really haven't like. We known each other for this long. We've been building this, blah, blah, and you just go somebody out of the blue just because you woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
That's what I'm thinking Carly was saying. That's why I'm like, no.
I don't support that.
That's
but
not
it just,
I support that.
But I'm not saying you can't.
So I'm not going to take that back. I support that.
I just feel
she
bad.
She said what she said.
Yeah.
But ending this on a positive note, because we was talking about when did you realize that he didn't love you and breaking up with us at work or breaking up with him at work. When did you realize that he loved you? Going back into the whole love languages and it's a hard one. Anyone want to go first?
let Miss Boyfriend go.
Right.
She always
I'm a single. I don't have no answer. I don't know. I ain't never been in love.
When he loved me.
Why
on the first date.
So late?
Duh.
Like, yeah.
On the first date?
Oh, okay.
Tell us about it. Share your story.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable.
No, actually, it didn't start off real rocky. It just wasn't. We're not gonna start off from the first.
Okay,
because you remember.
So start from where you knew.
When you knew he loved you. Does he love you? Do you think he loves you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
I think he does. But
okay, why do you feel that way? Like, what does he do that makes you feel that way?
Kayla in the hot seat. Kayla in the hot seat.
I am in the hot seat. I'm trying to think of like all the things.
Not Miss. Let's get on the Twitter and talk about boyfriends and relationships.
On the girls' room pod.
Not y'all trying to.
Yeah, so tell us.
Trying to ostracize me from the girls' room pod. Now y'all want me to talk?
Yeah, no, because you always speaking for now. Yeah, like talk about it. Since you so in love.
How much time do we have?
No, we got time, Marvin. We got time. 5 minutes.
Real quick.
I just knew that he loved me by y'all in my fucking business. What the fuck?
Yeah, go.
I don't know. He just like he wants me there all the time. Like, oh, he's about to go. He lives. I'm not telling y'all where my man lives, but he lives like
farther away from you.
Yeah, like 10, 15 minutes away from me. But he will come to pick me up to run an errand with him, and then like he'll drop me off. Like,
I love that.
He wants me to be there all the time. Or when he's like,
just always wants you around.
He always.
Maybe his love language is quality time.
His love language is quality time, and I realized that not by having the explicit conversation, but me knowing about love languages, it's like I can pay attention.
What sign is he?
He's a Capricorn.
Okay, I love that because I think Earth signs are so compatible with other Earth signs. But okay, yeah,
Earth
I love
signs
that.
Together.
Virgos and Virgos do not go well together, but Virgos and other Earth signs.
Virgo women and Virgo men.
No, they do not mix well.
No, they don't.
But
and I've been with some terrible Virgo men are terrible.
Yeah, they're horrible.
But I think that's so cute. Like I think that's so cute. Yeah. I think also because like for women, I know like a lot of us when we like guys, we always want to be around them. But for guys to feel that way, like anytime I know a guy that just like always wants to like be with like the person that they're with, I think that's the cutest thing because you know like I feel like guys kind of have a routine, like they kind of stick to them. They have their own thing going on,
and guys usually aren't as clingy as women.
Yeah,
so it's
so cute.
I love the clinginess because I realize that I'm very clingy.
I love the clinginess.
Oh, we love that for you, Bayla. Bayla with a bay.
Yay.
Yeah, that's just fucking crazy. I'm like, you about to come get me and then take me back home, and you live all the way down there.
That's not your business. Just
right.
We
be going. I be hopping up and going.
Yeah,
I
love that.
On, boo.
Me too. Well, that wraps up our episode.
I think that was great.
That was great. Yay. Thank you guys for tuning into episode 4 of The Girls Room. Make sure, if you guys are not following us already, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the socials. Make sure you're subscribing, liking our videos, and commenting because we want to hear from you guys.
And do it
Love
now.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
We should have shouted out our fans.